Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. 6th round draft pick making subtle moves toward RB3 for Cowboys. A slot on the roster with a huge question mark at the moment has to be RB3. Sure, there's Rico Dowdle and Ezekiel Elliott who secure the RB1 and RB2 slots, but the third slot is a head-scratcher. However, a suitable candidate is looking more and more like Deuce Vaughn. Vaughn was 2023's 6th round draft pick by the Dallas Cowboys. Surely, that's part of the reason he made the team previously. However, he didn't make headlines. He seemed to fall flat of his potential, collecting 23 carries for 40 yards. He did have some time on the returning squad, where he also fell average too. Maybe Vaughn's size is a contributing factor to getting defeated on the line. Vaughn stands 5 feet 6 inches, 178 pounds. When compared to Rico Dowdle, who is 6 feet 0 inches, 215 pounds, there's reason for concern on breaking tackles. If that's the case, there doesn't seem to be much reason in keeping Vaughn. Well, except that his time in camp and against the Raiders looked pretty good. Vaughn fell susceptible to an illness a few days before the game against the LA Rams, so there wasn't an opportunity to see him on the field. However, he made up for it these past few days in training camp. In fact, in the joint practice with the Rams, Vaughn stood out at running back. On every single rush, Vaughn quickly finds the hole and collects significant yardage. He's also able to catch on the outside and pick up yards that way too. Then, he capitalized on this when the Cowboys played the Las Vegas Raiders. Vaughn was the leading running back with 5 carries for 34 yards, averaging 6.8 yards per carry. This was significantly more efficient than Royce Freeman, the preferred RB3, who had 7 carries for 32 yards. The Cowboys recently released a very preliminary version of their depth chart on their website. On it are the 2 players who are currently being ranked in front of Vaughn right now, Royce Freeman and Malik Davis. Freeman is a back with a lot of history, having played for numerous teams in the league. This is his 8th year in the league and his 5th team. Out of the 17 games in the season, he played 14, coming up with 319 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was unable to play in the game against the Rams because of an ongoing groin injury. Davis is a younger back who made the Cowboys practice squad last season. Due to this, he primarily played on special teams, which is why the Cowboys are trying to give him another chance at running back. However, Davis struggled in the game against the Rams, only creating 18 yards after 8 carries. He didn't do well against the Raiders either, making 5 carries for 14 yards. The competition is fierce in this running back room. Right now, neither guy has had a more successful running game than Vaughn when it comes to actual gameplay. Not to mention, they're all the same kind of back, big and bulky. Vaughn creates variety for an offense that is starting to look similar, no matter who is carrying the ball. Because of his shorter stature, he's more likely to pause and find a hole instead of force his way through, collecting more yards. Jerry Jones, Cowboys, Ceedee Lamb having promising talks. As the holdout of Dallas Cowboys wide receiver Ceedee Lamb continues, owner and general manager Jerry Jones said Tuesday the sides are having promising talks regarding a contract extension. Just what that means is not entirely clear because negotiations have taken place at different times throughout training camp without a resolution. Opening day against the Cleveland Browns is September 8th. Asked whether he is optimistic there will be a deal, Jones said, "Well, I think I am, and when I say that, it doesn't sound too promising. The facts are that I believe we'll come together. I don't want to speak for him. That's what I'm trying not to do. But we wouldn't have offered him what we've offered him if we didn't want him to be here." Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson is the highest paid wide receiver at $35 million per season. The Cowboys have made an offer to make Lamb the second highest paid, sources told ESPN, but it has not closed the gap. Jones said his level of concern has not risen the more time Lamb has missed. "I don't mean that to be insensitive to our fans or to Ceedee, but we're in good shape there and we are having promising talks," Jones said. "You say, well, why do you keep talking? Why don't you do something?" Again, as in anything, it takes both of you there at the same time. But I believe it's got the proper amount of everything: emphasis, importance for everybody involved here, and we'll see how it goes. Jones said talks continue with quarterback Dak Prescott as well. "One of the things that I'd like for the fans to really understand is that 9 times out of 10, these are existing contracts that you have in place," Jones said. "And you should be able to operate under those, but we've gotten it now in the NFL, other teams are dealing with it too, where with time left on the contract you still might have a contract discussion. That's what we're doing. But none of us, players or teams, wanted to hurt the preparation or the likelihood of playing at your best opening day." Lamb's cryptic Spider-Man post fuels speculation amid Cowboys contract holdout. Ceedee Lamb, the Dallas Cowboys star receiver, has sparked speculation with his latest social media post amid his ongoing contract holdout. The 3-time Pro Bowler shared an image of Spider-Man in a black suit on his Instagram story, a character associated with gaining more power at the cost of moral compromise. This post has led to various interpretations, including the possibility that Lamb is symbolically expressing his readiness to take a more aggressive stance in negotiations or even considering stepping away from football altogether. Lamb is currently in the final year of his rookie contract, with the Cowboys exercising their $17.9 million option for the 2024 season. Despite this, Lamb ranks as the 22nd highest-paid wide receiver in terms of total cash, a figure significantly lower than what he could command in the open market, potentially doubling that amount. This financial disparity adds pressure to the ongoing negotiations, with Lamb likely seeking a more lucrative long-term deal. The situation escalated when Cowboys owner Jerry Jones made comments on August 8 downplaying the urgency of Lamb's contract situation, which led to a response from Lamb on social media. Although Jones later attempted to reassure fans by emphasizing Lamb's importance to the team and downplaying any immediate concerns, the lack of progress in negotiations has continued to raise questions. Further complicating matters, ESPN's Jeff Darlington reported that the Cowboys and Lamb's camp have yet to reach a consensus on key contract details such as salary, contract length, and guaranteed money. While there is still optimism that a deal can be reached quickly, the absence of concrete agreements on these critical aspects suggests that a resolution is not yet imminent, heightening tensions as the regular season approaches. Lamb's cryptic post can be interpreted as a signal that he's willing to play hardball with the Cowboys, potentially positioning himself as the bad guy to increase leverage in negotiations. By drawing parallels with Spider-Man's black suit, Lamb might be hinting at his readiness to adopt a tougher, more uncompromising stance in securing the contract he believes he deserves. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Ceedee Lamb? Leave your opinion in the comments.